6 a.m. in Amsterdam. I've got a flight to Kenya in 6 hours. But first I need to get some intervals done before I travel. 12 by 400 metres. It's a modified session to fit in with my travel plans. It's raining out there, so I'm not looking forward to it. But let's get it done. Always have your kit out ready, it makes life a lot easier. No breakfast, just raw dogging it with some of this. That's the worst part about doing intervals so early in the morning. Don't have a chance to eat breakfast first. Well, the weather gods had a great goodbye for me this morning. How to get wet and cold very quickly. But the session got done and I was quite happy with it. Once I got into it, I always find the first couple of reps very hard so early in the morning, trying to get the legs to move fast. So the session was modified because originally I was going to do 20 by 400, but I did 12 by 400 due to travelling, just so less stress. Last year, I would have felt like a failure for doing that, and I would have definitely just done the 20 and probably suffered, but today it feels like a win. So the wildest thing happened yesterday. I went to check in and I couldn't find my visa in the emails. So they wouldn't let me check in. So I had to go and call the company that does the visas, but there was no answer because it's in Kenya, which is expectable, I would guess. And then I sent them an email and then they responded really quick. So I thought, okay, this could be okay. And then they said, oh, we're going to look for it. Well, I think generally for Africa, or in my experience when I come to Kenya, nobody seems to be in a rush to do anything. But my flight was in like an hour and 20 minutes. So I didn't hear anything. In the meantime, I had a visa from last year, so I started to modify that and put some dates on in an editing software, because I didn't think they would send me it through in time, and I knew I wasn't going to get on the flight. So I did that, and then I went to check in, and she didn't check it, but she was like, when you get through to security, or not security, when you get through to the check-in or boarding, they're going to need to check your document. So I was like, okay. But anyway, I just needed to get through. So she let me through, but then the baggage check-in was closed. So the woman was like, oh, you're not going to be able to get on this flight. You're going to have to go on another flight. So then my heart sank. I was like, oh my God, I'm not going to Kenya. So I went back to the woman who was originally trying to help me with the visa. And she luckily said, oh, I'll help you and put the bag through. Like, she opened up a desk and put it through, and she was like, oh yeah, it'll definitely get through to Nairobi in time. She was like, right, you need to run and get to your flight. So that was one thing. So then I got through security, but there was a 20-minute queue. And I was like, oh no, I'm probably not going to get through this either. So I begged the woman and she let me skip the queue. So then I got to the security, check-in, sorry, not even check-in, it's 5:50 in the morning, I don't know what I'm saying. Got to boarding, and then I didn't go to the desk to check my documents. I didn't know what was going to happen there. Well, nobody checked anything, so I just got on the flight. So whilst I was waiting to also board the plane, I'd applied for a new visa, thinking, oh, that could be useful, but fully not expecting that to be done in the next few days. So that applied for that, and then I got both through at the same time whilst I was sat on the plane, because we were delayed for an hour. So in the end I ended up with 2 visas, and I made it to Nairobi, and more surprisingly my suitcase even made it. So it was an absolute drama of a day. I don't ever want to live that again. I'm going on safari now, 6 in the morning till midday. Never to be this colour again. Yeah. But this is like a big professional group?
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah. Professional group.
Just got back from my first easy run, first morning in Iten. I was lucky to be invited by a Kenyan group, which was fun. I got to ask a lot of questions about running and just see how they trained. One thing I wanted to say, but I didn't get a chance yesterday because it was really long travel days. I didn't run yesterday because I wanted to take a day off. It's last year I trained too much when I first came to Iten, so I modified my training for this week. So I'm just taking it very easy. So yesterday I went on safari, so then I just didn't train at all, which I think was a good choice because I ran this morning 10 kilometers and it felt quite good with being at altitude. Last year I ran the first day I arrived and it was very, very difficult and I really felt like I couldn't breathe. And this morning it felt just pretty much like a normal easy run, as if I wasn't at altitude. So that's good. That's a good positive sign. But the other point is that you're not going to lose any fitness within 3 to 5 days. So doing nothing is not going to be a problem. and it's something that's hard to imagine or get in your head, but it is true. So, and if anything, I would imagine I'm probably going to feel stronger for having a few days off. But now I've just got back, shoes are definitely getting more dirty. They won't be clean for much longer. I'm going to go and get breakfast because I didn't have breakfast yet. Here in Iten, 2,400 metres, my heart's working harder just to walk around right now compared to at sea level. So for that reason, I adjust the paces of my easy runs and also the length so that I'm recovering properly, because the first 72 hours is important to allow for acclimatization. So a reason also to reduce the training load is to prioritize sleep. And sleep is very important if you want to recover properly. So by reducing the training load, it gives me more time to sleep. So for example, I already took a nap this afternoon for an hour, which doesn't happen very often back in the Netherlands. And another factor to consider, sorry, I'm just having to keep an eye out on all the stones so I don't break my ankle whilst running. Another factor to consider is that the legs, they can probably go, but if you go at a pace that's normal for you at sea level, then your lungs are going to be very much under stress. So for that reason, I just keep my heart rate very easy. It's inevitable that travelling will get in the way of training. And if training isn't of good enough quality, then it's better to back off until it's possible to train better. And before you start worrying, there isn't any significant loss of VO2 max or muscle power within the first 7 days of inactivity, which should more than cover any travel plans. So I'm just going to lay here and enjoy some sunshine and get some good recovery in, ready for my next training session. Next week I'll be speaking about what makes Kenyan runners so good.